Welcome back. I'm Wavepunk, and this is day 100 of producing for a year. We made it 100 days in a row of producing for at least 15 minutes a day. I'm proud of myself. Not technically a third of the way through, but we did get to the big 3 digits, and I'm happy about it. Today we worked on Baseball Chiptune. I'm really enjoying how this track is shaping up. We've got some really cool sounds, some really pretty melodies. First thing we did today, if you remember yesterday, this chord section was missing the end and missing the transition between the A and the B sections. And so I went and added those. It took me like 3 minutes. I kind of wish I just finished it yesterday. So this is the beginning of the B section. Bop, bop, bom, bop, bop, bop. Well, the A section had this pattern. The end there is similar, but the beginning was different. So I needed a way to kind of transition between the two of them. So I just took the second half of it that is similar and just had that section loop multiple times to transition us between the two. So so it kind of transitioned us from this idea of like dooga daga to more like a dot 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 sound, so that when we get into that chord section, it kind of makes sense. And so then we basically did the opposite on the other side, where this last measure, I just literally took the very first idea of this accompaniment section and put it almost exactly in, because it was just on a 4 or 5 chord, so it kind of stayed sonorous underneath. So it sounds like this, and then here. And then it loops around. So that worked out really well, and it sounds nice. Well, it doesn't have a lot of harmonic information in there. It's just kind of hitting like tonics and dominants, the doo-ba-da-ba, a sound that you can kind of put with any chord in a diatonic, especially in a major diatonic setting. Because of that, with the bass, you have all the harmonic content you need to understand where you're at with your ear. So that feels pretty good. The next thing I did was kind of like deal with some structure here. I had this harmonic idea going through the entire piece. And I don't really need that to keep going once I have this sound, you know, come in, which is basically the same thing, but just slightly more evolved. And it's a nice kind of change up. So instead of having that going at the same time as this, honestly, I couldn't really tell when I pulled it out. We just have this section without it here. We go just from this. I don't notice this is gone. And to kind of help fill the space and to help us transition from a super dry sound, no echo, no anything going on, where over here, there's an actual echo happening. To transition between those two, brought in our 8-bit echo chug sound that we made back on like episode 20 or something, and that we used a lot in the boss fight track. And this sound has so much space to it. If you just listen to this. It fills in such an interesting spot that the rest of the sound is not filling. If we look at the meter here, on the multimeter, go to the goniometer. I'm actually really curious what this looks like. This sound should fill up a lot of... It's not super wide, but it's a ball. It's a ball of a shape. It's not a line. This music is very much just a line that's kind of wiggling back and forth. So watch when we get to here. Let's just see if you can see it, but you'll be able to hear it. This is the one section I'm not hot on. that melody turnaround, I think, is actually kind of bad. I think the melody, the melodic idea at the beginning, is so strong, and the back half of the melody kind of loses that a little bit. So I would like to, I'm going to rewrite that melody a little bit. The next section is completely new. Well, not entirely new. You've heard some of the content in it. So the first thing is this, we built that in the previous episode, but we didn't actually put it anywhere. And you'll notice there wasn't any echo tail, because again, this section has a kind of like analog echo. The echo that you're hearing is just this MIDI being delayed a little bit in a second variation of the MIDI that's panned to the other ears. But I was like, what do I do with this sound? I do like this sound. Again, this is the counterpoint line from the first melody here. And one sound I've really enjoyed ever since like literally the first piece of music I ever wrote was just to do the exact same thing we've been doing, but without any bass. It's a really fun sound. One thing I did earlier was just pull these in to here and then just solo the melody section and trying to like glean the chord progression just from melodic content and from counterpoint is really fun. I might actually have the piece end like that. But so to that end, to that idea, we have this section here where the bass drops out and I just let the melodies and chords kind of do their thing without the bass. And then I have the bass come in and be a slightly different bass chord progression, a little bit longer sounds at first, and then have it actually really accentuate that chord style that we have going on here. This it's kind of almost this like it's almost like 7 but kind of rounded out because it is an 8. The first thing is just listen to the transition of the sections. Listen for the bass to drop out here. Now there's no bass. If you're listening on your phone, you might not notice that, but this bass comes in now. And then listen to how it emphasizes the chord progression. Oh, whoa, and then we have a completely different chord change here at the end that I wrote, and I changed the MIDI on both the chords and the melody to emphasize this flat 7 that we go to here, and kind of just like 4/7 round, which I don't know where I'm gonna go with it, because I really like that sound, but that is very new information, which means we need to kind of go somewhere different, which means making the piece a lot longer for to do that. I don't wanna do that. This piece is already like just under 3 minutes, so if I put like the tail on it, it'll be 3 minutes long, which is a perfect length for a little track here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that, because I love that sound. I love that little way that like, okay, we're 2 minutes into this idea, we're kind of bored of it, let's change it and have it really change here, but I don't know. So we'll see. I like that change. Again, like we could go to like some like very different. I might do that. That would be just a completely separate idea. Completely separate section, and then maybe like recap the beginning of it again and then kind of be done. But that's gonna be like a 5-minute track at that point. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where I go with that. The only other thing I did differently in this section was the bass drum. I don't know what I want. I want the drums to like if I just mute the entire percussion section here and kind of like play the energy, feel the way that the bass hitting with the chords feels good. It's got that like lilting rhythm to it. I really would enjoy it if the percussion like did the same sort of thing, but I don't want literally everything to try to going bop 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 bop, because then there's nothing kind of to hold our ear to the normal time to, and like to feel the contrast, to feel the pull, push and pull. So you need something that's going really on downbeats. So I kind of just had the bass do that. I took it from this this pattern here where it's like kind of the drum and bass style, and just have it transition to just like 4 on the floor. I think it kind of works. So that's all we did today. Built this section here, created a problem that's really awesome that we're gonna have to solve by trying to write more music but not writing too much music. It was a good day, a good little productive day of I worked for about 25 minutes today. So, but yep, day 100, we did it, folks. We made it. Maybe I'll do a recap video of kind of like my thoughts 100 days in so far. I've had a lot of surprises along the way, things I've learned about myself and about this project and the ways it's impacted my life. So I might do a video like that. We'll see. I am definitely behind on editing though, so no promises. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. This is the one section I'm not hot on.